All right, this is going to be slightly harder. We're just going to add one extra step. Okay, well, not one extra step. We're going to do a little bit more work in one of the steps. There's still just going to be the 3 steps we talked about last time. And we will go over that again. So, there's no new definitions, no anything like that. We just need to have a level 2 problem. And here is one. Okay, hopefully you already see the difference between the level 1 problems and level 2 problems. And the difference is, well, this one's in slope-intercept form. This one is not. That's what makes it a level 2 problem. So step 1 is to pick something that is solved for a variable. Most of the time we want it to be in slope-intercept form because we're comfortable with that. So maybe this is even easier. It's probably not, but at least we can know that this one would take work to solve for a variable, yes? This one would not. So step 1 should still be easy. That's step 1. Okay. Could you do some work and make this solve for a variable? You could, but if you can avoid work, shouldn't you? Okay, step 2 is going to be hard. Because now y equals this, and that means I need to replace y with that. That's what makes it hard. So I'm going to try to do that. Y equals, no, that's not right. I got to do this line. I've already used this line, right? You got to use this line now. I have to use this first line. Negative 2x minus 2. Now I'm going to put a parentheses. Equals 2. So that should be y, but I'm going to replace y with x plus 9. Okay. Hopefully now you understand why we did our intro to algebra review, how we had problems like this that we were reviewing. Because I knew that this was coming and it was coming quickly. Okay, this is definitely not baby math. This is definitely not something just simple that you did back in the 5th grade. This is complicated, real algebra. And so we're going slow at this just so we can hopefully be successful. So we're going to do the same thing that we've done before, is we're going to distribute. Remember, when you distribute, you're going to distribute not just 2, you're going to distribute negative 2. Okay, there's different ways to do it. I like to change that to a plus and then a negative, so I know that I'm supposed to distribute the negative 2. Do it however you were taught or however you know how to do it. Okay, so this would end up being negative 2x and negative 18. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. Negative 4x equals, oops, doesn't equal. Negative 4x minus 18 equals 2. Here we go. We did okay that time. Plus 18, negative 4x equals 20 divided by negative 4. X equals negative 5. All right. Now the nice thing about level 2 is that is as hard as level 2 is going to be. It's going to have a problem about that difficult. That's as hard as it gets. And so even if it's level 3, 4, whatever, it's step 2 is going to be this hard. Okay, now we need to go back up to 3 over here. And 3 is never going to be hard. It's always going to be exactly the same. I'm going to take step 1. Y equals x plus 9. So that looks like that's going to be what? Y equals 4. And that's my final answer. -5, 4. Okay, I want you to look at that. I want you to acknowledge that it is harder, but is it that much harder? I mean, it could be. It's your opinion. I am adding this extra little step here, and you do have to think at the beginning. You can't just write down anything you want to. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'm going to help you with one of the ones on your homework, which I haven't passed out yet. And then we are going to move on with our lives. All right, let's see here. Let's pick a good one. Let's pick, this one looks good. This one's pretty hard. And that's kind of my goal, is to find one that's pretty hard. Okay, see if you can do it before I get to it. Although it looks to me like I probably should have started on a new page, because it looks like I might run out of room, because I write big. You don't write as big, that's okay. Of course, technically I can have infinite paper, because I could just add paper. Step 1. Is step 1 easy for us to see? Hopefully. Okay, the hard thing for 9th graders especially to see is I have to put this entire thing right here and stick it in this guy right here. Okay, that is a hard concept. If you can get this concept, you're in really good shape for geometry, you're in really good shape for Algebra 2, you're in really good shape to be successful to graduate. If you don't get this concept, the good news is you've got to do your best, and we're going to have a different method, a third method to use that I'm going to teach for people that really struggle with this concept. Okay? Everybody's different. Everybody has their own opinions about things. Everybody has their own things that make sense to them. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. Okay. I just replaced y with that. That is the goal. That's why it's called the substitution technique. All right. Usually once I have it set up, people are like, okay, I got this from here. Combine like terms. Okay, I'm going to pass out your worksheet while you are finishing this problem up. Right. And on this worksheet, I'm actually going to skip a few because I do have some review problems that you're going to be doing on this. Thank you. Like obviously this one right here is a review problem. We are going to get to that. I'm going to tell you about that probably tomorrow. But we're going to do those. But I'm going to start on 5. And so leave a little bit of room, and depending on the year, it depends on what we're going to be doing. But I'm going to start on 5, and I want you to work this with me. And there is some repetition to how we're doing this. We are going to eventually have where it's mixed, where it might be a level 1, it might be a level 3, it might be... So you actually have to identify what you need to do first. But for now, we're just going to do this where we kind of know what to do. Once we learn how to do it, then it's easier to kind of make your decisions. So again, a lot of times what you can do your little planning here on the worksheet, that's fine. Because a lot of people don't like to write this again, and that's fine if you don't want to. I just want to write to the steps. So I'm gonna make this step 1, and of course that would make this step 2. And you don't see what I did. That was very, very exciting. And I'm gonna make this step 1 because it's already solved. So that's gonna be step 2. Okay? So if you don't want to write down the problem, some people like to write down the problem, some people don't. You got to write this down at least so you have all the information on the paper that you need. Because that's going to be your step 1. Your step 2 has to be this other line, so that's going to be 7x minus 4 parentheses equals 12. You've got to figure out what to put in the parentheses, try to beat me on this, and then I will follow up and see if we get the same answer. And again, be careful. This is the hardest thing in algebra, is when they have a negative right here and you're going to have to distribute. Okay. That's basically what we got going on. It's going to end up being a pretty big number, huh? What is that, 96? Is that right? Okay. Now here's the deal. This is either going to work or it's not. If it doesn't work, if this isn't divisible by this, because some of you can't just instantly tell that, then we messed up something. Because I'm going to make this pretty. Because this is difficult enough that we want to feel good about our answers. And so we want to have something that identifies, now this is, if I divide 27, I am going to get what? All right? Okay, the rest is easy, isn't it? Step 3 is easy. Y equals -5. Okay. I'm going to turn this off.